was sending pictures to Kathy.
Kathy's
I had such a nice lunch with her the other day. It was a
Okay.
very long lunch. I thoroughly enjoyed that. No, it's not interviews. I'm not client. I'm not rich enough to
Relax.
get client interviews.
Okay, so pitch out at Laureus. We are here with two of our ambassadors, Jean de Villiers and Butch James. Butch, I'm glad we found some sustenance for you.
Thanks so much.
But I mean, the big burning question that everybody's asking us is, who's the plus one?
Butch. Butch is my
I'm the hammer, he's the nail.
All right, okay. But is this a date? Is this?
This is our first date.
Okay.
We're a couple for the 2 days in Berlin, and I couldn't have asked for a better partner, to spend 2 days with.
How much are you looking forward to the awards? I know for both of you, it's definitely not your first time, so it's always a great event. Red carpets, amazing ceremony, big party afterwards. So, how was last year, Butch?
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, it's awesome. Like you said, it's always an unbelievable event. It's especially for a sport lover, it's just great to be here and to see some of your heroes and some of the present legends of the games, of the different sports. So, yeah, it's just an unbelievable event, and I think tonight will be no different. I'm holding thumbs for a few of our nominations. I think the Springbok team and then Natalie de Toy as well. So, holding thumbs that they can get the award.
Jean, do you think anybody gets past the box tonight?
I think it's going to be difficult. When I saw the nominees, I thought, okay, Liverpool. Liverpool obviously with what they've achieved, but they haven't won the league yet. So probably not the right winners for this year. I'd say Liverpool might win it next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this time around, I think the Box, they've got a really good chance of winning it, and probably favourites in terms of that category. But which also mentioned Natalie, and I think that achievement. So over 20 years of sport and the existence of Laureus, and to be nominated just for that, I think is incredible, and I think she's got a really good chance of winning that as well. It's a little bit close to home for me as well, because I was actually at that Commonwealth Games representing South Africa in the sevens. So experiencing her brilliant feat firsthand was amazing.
Yeah, we spoke to her earlier, and we kind of went through that morning. She had an accident and that, and to, like you said, to come back from that, get back in the water, and then race at that level in such a short space of time is just superhuman in many respects.
No, it's incredible, and I think that's exactly what Laureus stands for. Yes, for her achievements are sort of excellence achievements as well, but it's what sport teaches us. That commitment just to keep going, to show perseverance, and no matter the adversity, to get through it. So, and that is relevant to anyone that participates in sport. So that is the beauty of Laureus and what it teaches us, because you can implement that, and it's relevant to everyday life. So it really is a fantastic story.
Before we talk about the World Cup success, we had. Are you sure you?
I'm good. I'm seeing Butchie Butchie's going to eat both the muffins.
I'll leave one for my date.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Brian became a member of the Laureus Academy. Really big honour for him. I mean, he was very emotional. I've seen some of the photos. He was emotional as it took place. But just perhaps a word on him, and somebody that you know particularly, or both of you know particularly well. So I mean, a huge honour, and a great ambassador, as you all are, for not just Laureus but for South Africa as well.
Yeah, it's a huge honour for Brian, and it's a huge achievement as well. If you just have to go through the list of all the other academy members, it's very well deserved from Brian. I think he performed very well on the field, but it's off the field where he's most impressive. I think he spends a lot of time at all the projects, and always got time for kids and for the fans looking for autographs or photos or whatever it may be. So yeah, he's just a great ambassador for South Africa and for Laureus. So very well deserved.
John, I want to ask you about Sia and the World Cup success, but maybe take it back a bit, and you'll correct me where I'm wrong. When you was a young gun in 2012, were you the captain?
Yeah.
You were. So you had the first experience before, in the national setup. Certainly, obviously, know him particularly well from the Stormers as well. Just to see his progression over the years, you must be proud of him, I would guess.
No, extremely proud, and I was quite fortunate that I was captain of the box when he made his debut and at the Stormers as well. So I've seen him grow up, and I think that I'm most proud of is to see where he started, and for him and his life story, that was almost success in itself. Just for him to get a professional rugby contract, to get out of his environment, and that was success for him. And now to go on and be captain and captain the team to a win at the World Cup it's a phenomenal story. And if you know the whole story and what he's been through and the challenges that he has had and that they've had as a family as well, it really is just it's so heartwarming and again just shows the kind of resilience that we that we try and teach from a Laureus point of view. So amazing effort, fantastic guy, and obviously his life has just changed. It's been flipped upside down, and I think he's dealing with it really well. So it's incredible story.
Yeah, I mean, you highlight they're dealing with it well. I mean, the pressure you must be under, just commercial pressure. There's almost a weight on his shoulders from a national perspective. It seems as kind of this individual who's he's possibly more popular, or more responsibility than the president in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm sure, especially after the World Cup, I don't think he can go anywhere now, even around the world, without being recognised. So, his life's definitely changed, but like Jean said, he's handling it so well, and he just hasn't changed. But I think that's why he's such an impressive person, is because of the person he is. He's just such a good guy and a fun guy. I mean, like Jean said, he's been through a lot of tough situations since he was young, and to come out the person he is today is just incredible.
From a performance perspective, I asked Sean Fitzpatrick about this yesterday, but so the Boks under Rassie have got to a certain level, world champions. I suppose what the All Blacks have done so well over time is replicate consistency and excellence, right?
Yeah.
What needs to ensure that for 2, 4, 6 years that the Boks are top 2 teams in the world consistently?
Look, I think the one thing we need to understand as well, and a lot has been said about Sia and his great achievements and all that, but it certainly wasn't a one-man show, and he just formed a small part in the bigger job that they had to do. And I think that for me was really impressive as well, was the combined effort from everyone involved, and everybody knowing exactly where they fit in and what they needed to do. And when you have that, that lends itself to getting more sustainable success over a long period of time. So it's not just 1 or 2 guys that's brilliant and they have a good game and you win.
Yeah.
If you have consistency in performances like that, then hopefully you can do what Sean mentioned, in that they can be consistent in between World Cups as well. Obviously, there's a big year next year against the Lions, and then 2 years after that, World Cup again. So the team is still quite young, and hopefully that'll help the team to really do well in between World Cups as well, because otherwise you just have that inconsistency that we've had for a very long time.
I think it's also the consistency with the coaching staff. I think keeping Jacques there as the head coach and Rassie, I'm sure he'll still have quite a big hand to play in the way the Springboks play. I think that's also important. I think we're just looking back at some of the other World Cups. After every World Cup, we almost have gotten rid of the coach, even after they've won the World Cup. So I think that'll be good, just to keep that consistency and probably keep most of the players, the same players there. So I think that's also important.
Yeah, I mean, I've always found that interesting, that surely over a 4-year cycle, the amount of IP that a coach accumulates in that time to kind of to rewrite the playbook.
Yeah.
And it's every time, whether you're successful or not at a World Cup, we've managed to get rid of the coaching staff.
Yeah.
And start over again. And there's never like a transfer of IP as well. It's like, okay, you're the coach now. Okay, we get rid of you, get someone new in. And there's no communication between the two of them to say, okay, this is what worked, this is what didn't work. Watch out for this. Don't do that. And I think if you do have that, and if you have the consistency that in coaching staff that Butch mentioned, then you manage to miss all those little pitfalls that everybody goes through. But you've experienced it now, and the guys can learn from it. So I suppose experience is the word. They're a more experienced team now from a coaching point of view. And hopefully that helps with the results as well.
You mentioned the Lions. We're going to hopefully chat to Brian O'Driscoll just now, the British and Irish Lions, it is, not the guys from Joburg.
Yeah.
Do the Boks start as clear favourites? It's a long way away still. That's in your mind? In your minds?
No, definitely not clear favourites. Because one, we don't know what our team will look like. Two, we don't know what the Lions will look like. So. So much can still happen in the next 16 months, and I think for a Lions series, it's never just one-way traffic, and we've seen over the last couple of years that they're very competitive. The Northern Hemisphere teams have certainly caught up with the Southern Hemisphere teams, and it'll be a very strong Lions squad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much momentum the Springboks take from the World Cup. Right?
Yes.
We've seen it in the Super Rugby teams. You can see all the Springbok guys there are really lifted the way the rest of the teams play. So it'll be interesting to see how they go this year when Scotland come over, then into the championship, and see if they can almost build on that momentum and then keep it going until the Lions. So if they can keep building and then the Lions get you, then I think we might be a little bit of favourites. Never know.
Final one, because I know you've got a busy afternoon ahead and
We
evening.
need to go get lunch, man.
What's the red carpet protocol then for the two of you, considering you are travelling together?
I've got no idea.
You guys haven't worked this out yet.
What would you like?
I don't know. I have to go find a
suit,
a new
blue,
face.
a blue bow tie to match his dress.
I think on that note we'll leave it, guys. Thanks so much for joining us at Pitchside, and enjoy
thanks
this.
for having us.
Why do you say that? You really hurt my feelings.
I think this is definitely the time to cut it. Enjoy tonight. I hope I personally hope the Springboks get over the line, and enjoy the after party as well. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Thanks.
Safe trip home.
Guys.
Thank you. Cheers.